This is really the Fighter and the Kid.
Come on, baby. You're blued out today.
Blued up, dude.
You went blue, huh?
I'm a Crip.
Is that right?
Crip today.
Damn.
It's Crip Wednesday.
Wow, Crip Wednesday.
You're in blue. You're all blued out. Too,
Daddy's all blued out too. But Daddy's always blued out because Daddy's like, I'll wear blue again. You know, I got to get some color in my wardrobe.
He's more of a light blue.
Yeah. This is a true classic royal blue. No, this is actually a true classic sky blue.
This is a true classic Crip blue.
Yeah, this brings out the brown in my eyes. I like this, right?
Brings out the gray in your hair, my man.
I got to get myself a hair transplant. I know I keep saying that, but I'm actually going to make an appointment. I'm making an appointment. And when I come in, when I roll in with Beverly Hills, sir. When I roll in with a beautiful head of hair.
Beverly Hills ain't doing it right.
Bro, when I roll in with a beautiful head of hair, and you're like, Bryan, what in the fuck is going on? I want to wear a hat, and I want to pull my hat off, and I want to shake my hair out just once before I die.
Bud.
Bro, come on. Just before I die, just once.
Yeah.
God, my son's got great hair.
At this point, well, he's 14. I fucking hope so. Jesus Christ. Can you imagine if I'm like, man, T and Bossy, their hair is just... One's 9, one's 5. Who has bad hair at under 20?
It's true. It's true.
God, what if you're a kid, got your genetics, and his hair just, whatever reason, start falling out at like 12?
I know.
But there's so much shit you can do today. You'd send him a turkey, yeah? At 12?
No, not at 12, sir. Not at 12.
You'd let him lose his hair?
There are kids that lose their hair starting at 17. I mean,
17, yes.
Yeah, right? I knew kids in high school, one kid.
Receding hair.
He just lost his hair, man.
And then some have the widow's peak where it's not receding, but it's the way their hair is.
Well,
like Rihanna's forehead, it's not receding. It's just that's her style.
Yeah.
It's like up here.
Yeah.
Some people salute, it's like this.
Some people have high foreheads.
Yeah, it's all good. I'd rather have that than lose my hair.
Yeah. Now, I'm a cigar guy now. I don't know if you know this.
I know, we've been over this.
Yeah, but I had an interesting experience last night. I love the details of life, like where, why is this wine? Why is this whiskey really good? So my friend's a whiskey expert, like a collector. And then he's a cigar. He owns a cigar bar, but he provides cigars to some of the biggest names you can imagine. And so when you provide cigars to the biggest names you can imagine, the problem is I'm in there and I got my opinions on cigars because you know what, with me smoking cigars now. And he looks at me and he goes, "Yeah, I got you that box you wanted." I go, "Yeah." He goes, "But just to fuck with you, I got you a little Cuban."
The Supreme.
Now, you know how people say I smoke Cuban cigars? That's great.
They're usually fake, right?
They're all fake.
Yeah.
The counterfeit is so crazy. You can go to Cuba and get a cigar. And what are you smoking? You're smoking not Cuban tobacco. They're not giving the fucking they're giving the tourists the Honduran, Nicaraguan tobacco.
Basically the Chinese version. That's what you're
Thank
smoking.
you.
Yeah.
And the Chinese are getting into the cigar game.
Yeah,
Problem is, there's only, like, they tried to grow the kind of tobacco. So the reason Cuban cigars are so expensive is there's a tiny area, and the plant can only be, they pick it when it's, how strawberries are ripe at a certain time, seasonal?
Yeah,
tobacco, same thing. And then they'll age that shit for 5 years. They rotate it 275 times by hand.
So just like anything, it's limited.
It's limited.
Yeah.
I smoked one of those last night.
You tell the difference?
Oh, this is the best. The guy comes in he's got his Cubans, and he's this rich guy. And my friend goes like this. He goes, "I hate this." And he goes, "What?" He goes, "I just hate doing this to you."
Those aren't real.
And he goes, "What?" And he goes, "What'd you pay for those?" And the guy's like, I don't know, $2,000 or $3,000. He goes, "Can I show you?" And he goes, "Are you telling me these are counterfeit?" He goes, "They're good cigars." He goes, "They are good cigars.
But they're not the real deal.
But they're not the real deal." And he fucking pulls out.
You can tell from a smell?
He could look at them. He looked at the label. This guy's such an expert. I looked at the label because the Chinese are doing labels. I was like, I can't see it. He goes, "But look." And then he brings it into the light. He goes, "It sounds silly, but look at how this is just a little darker gold."
Yeah.
All the details, right? You know this with probably. So the guy smokes it. He opens up the next one. He likes the real one. Night and day. Fucking night and day. And the reason is because when you smoke a really good cigar that's not Cuban, it still burns your throat a little. These fucking...
Smooth?
It doesn't... I go, it doesn't... He goes, "You see how it doesn't burn your mouth?" I go, "Fuck. It doesn't... It feels like nothing. It's so clean." And that's what you pay for.
How much is a box of Cubans?
So you can get crazy.
Well, no, just like if I want your run-of-the-mill Cuban, I don't need like the...
How many cigars in a box?
I don't need the Cuban cigar Castro stuck
The
up
ones
his ass.
I smoked what Castro smokes last night. So
Yeah.
those run you $300 a stick. Well, no, but these
Similar.
are the
Same
legit.
brand.
Yeah, the legit. Well, the legit cigars that come from that. He had to go to Cuba 3 times, and they were still trying to fuck him. And he looked at me and he goes, "Guys, I know the palates." He goes, "I'm in this for the long haul."
Yeah.
So he only has 2 guys he can.
So how
trust.
much is a box, you said?
100 to 500, it says here.
in there?
Yep.
So figure 150 a stick. Okay, that's cheap.
a lot.
That's cheap. It's a lot because it's just so expensive.
And there's 25 cigars in a box.
Okay.
I don't need all that.
No, the
Whatever
problem
Rogan
is-
gives us, I'm good.
Those are great.
I only smoke on
The problem
Rogans.
is, like, even Rogan knows because we smoked there. He goes, he was like, "Fuck." He goes, "The difference is so different. It's so interesting."
That's why I don't want to try it.
That's the you.
I don't
You
like to
would
ruin
go. You. I swear to God, I thought about that
I
because
won't
you get
try
that
it.
nicotine thing
No, I
first of
won't
all,
try it.
and bro, and it's such a smooth. If I show you the difference, you're fucked. Because I looked at the guy and I go, "You motherfucker."
Then it's an expensive
I looked at
hobby.
you. You fucked me.
Yeah.
And he goes, I mean, I go, and then he starts doing that with whiskey, with these rare Japanese whiskeys.
Yeah.
Fuck you. But you with
It's an
cigars,
expensive hobby.
it's an expensive hobby. And I know you'd be smart.
Oh, it's like that's my problem with cars. If I know
That's
there's an
it.
upgraded one, I can't even look at the base model.
You can't.
No.
So now I'm looking at my
I'd
my
rather
cigars.
not
I'm like,
see it.
I don't want those cigars.
No.
Get out of here with those.
Get those peasant sticks out of here.
I want that exclusive shit.
Get those poor peasant sticks
They're peasant
out of my
sticks.
atmosphere.
Yeah, but who can afford $100, $150 of smoke? That's,
Depends how much you like them.
I mean, it says you can get a cheap box for $100.
yeah,
Those aren't
that's
real.
because they're
Really-
not real.
Yeah, those
Right.
aren't real.
That's
They'll
'cause
they'll say they're real.
You
They're
can't
not.
get Cubans unless you know a guy.
And it also says a true Cuban cigar will burn with a gray soot or a salt and pepper appearance rather than a dark black.
It's more how smooth it is on your palate.
Well, it's like you can get knockoff Nikes. This is where it gets weird when it comes to shoe collecting. You can get knockoff Nikes. Now, remember, all Nikes are made in China. So you get them from a different China factory. So it's not like Nikes are made in America. We can tell the difference. So if you get a knockoff, the sizing might be a tad different.
the same shoe.
But outside,
Dude,
it's exact same material.
How about
everything.
bags? They're doing shit with bags
Oh,
now.
I know.
That like they'll do a Birkin, and you try seeing the difference. I saw this
Now,
thing on YouTube.
some can, like Joanna has a Birkin, and one of the moms in the group was like, "Oh, my husband got me this," and then Joanna leans over and goes, "Oh, it's fake." And I go, "Dude, don't be a fucking hater." She's all excited. She's like, "Oh, I'm not going to say anything." She's like, "That's not real."
Yeah,
I'm
We
like,
can
it looks identical to yours.
Identical.
She's like, "No," and she was like, when you grab the handle, she's like, "Look at the stitching. Like it was a little wider." I'm like, "Oh wow."
So this woman,
Also good for that husband.
This woman-
type
Yep.
move. I'll get you a Birkin.
right? This woman who works for Birkin, she saw this really good counterfeit, and she was like, the only difference here is that this is in pencil and this is in ink. She showed this thing, and I was like, that's how good they're getting. And what they think they're doing is some of these Chinese factories might be moonlighting. So they use the same factory.
That's what Nike
Right?
does.
Is
So
that right?
what you can get a lot of crazy like rare shoes for like $300. They're knockoffs, but it's from the employees that steal a lot of the stuff and do it to the other factory.
My problem with
It's
it
the
is
exact
the
same.
reason
but
I don't do it.
They just won't be. They won't be limited, or you won't be able to resell them. But if you're just a shoe guy that likes to wear them like me, I don't give a fuck.
my problem is I don't like
Like my
doing it
Freddy
'cause-
Kruegers have to be fake.
But don't you feel like you're stealing? Like I don't like doing it, man. I feel
Slave
like
labor, slave labor.
But
I don't give a
I don't
fuck.
want to fuck over like.
Oh, is that where you draw the line?
Well, no. If I'm
Who
going
you
to
fucking
buy a
over?
Louis Vuitton,
Yeah.
I want to buy it from the store.
Why? You know the price gouging that they're doing? Those
They
fucking
kill you, right?
the monopoly they
Yeah,
have on the
but it's
market.
still-
Suck
it's
my
still
dick.
stealing, though, huh?
From who?
From the
From the
company.
man.
Well, the company.
Yeah, the fuck that owns it that surcharges all this money.
Yeah, but
and has more money than
but they
God,
got
but wants
there-
to screw over the
but
public.
They got there for a reason, right? They
Well, back
figured
in
it
the
out.
day, because Louis Vuitton was actually luggage made in France, and then someone made it popular and made all this stuff. Then they just
Right.
price
So now
gouge.
now
Oh,
they're-
fuck off.
Now they're making
You,
bullshit.
you know how much trucks and cars are for the manufacturers, and then they want to charge all this money. You know how crazy this is.
Yeah.
You know that those shoes. I don't know what the fuck those are, but with these cost like probably fucking $2 to make. They want to charge 300, 400.
Well, those are handmade.
They tell you that, sure.
Yeah.
But the material and everything, their overhead is nothing.
Yeah.
Or this coffee, what was this, $8?
Yeah.
$9? This costs them maybe 8 cents to make.
Yeah, but
So fuck off.
but getting a brand so a brand is a guarantee. So when you buy a Porsche, it's a guarantee it's going to be a great car, right? So that it takes a long time to get that guarantee.
Yeah.
Like the amount of time and excellence that goes
Sound
into
like
it.
Chris Farley's dad selling me brakes right now.
But it's true. Like anything that's really good,
guarantee.
if it's a real thing, it's a guarantee, right? A Rolex, right?
I've had problems with Rolex. I've had problems with all those brands.
Well, that's a problem when they get really popular. Then they start making too much, right?
Well, they're not making like they did back in the day where they might have had 500 pieces
Yeah.
and the owner overlooked it or built it himself.
Now that's a different story.
And this Porsche you speak of, oh, wow, interesting. So they have a plant in, they do some stuff in North America. That like there's the people that are loyal to brands, it's not the 70s. It's not the race where we're in Dodge Motor fucking City with Ford, Mopar, and Chevy.
This is
Those
all
days are
corporate
gone.
shit.
Now, a lot of Dodgers made in Canada. Most of Ford's parts are made in fucking Mexico. That's at BMW. They have a plant in South Carolina. There's like Ferraris are made in Italy.
Ferrari's a different story still, right?
The majority, yeah, those high end ones are a different story. But again, they're not mass producing.
You're also not getting a counterfeit Ferrari. It's like,
no, but they're also they're not mass producing. Like they're limited. So the problem is when you get to a certain scale, you can't keep up the same quality.
well, so
there's no oversight.
So now the Chinese are getting into cigars, and
Fucking assholes.
And what they want though is
What aren't they into?
I know, but here's the thing. And this guy said, he goes, they have one island in China, that has the same altitude and same weather as Cuba.
Probably artificially created, but
And they are now going to try to grow the same kind of tobacco with those seeds.
Of course.
And then it's
Of
going to be a
course.
different game. But it'd still be expensive, but yeah. Bro, that's the problem. Now I know, it's like me with wine.
Oh, once I know,
Now I know the difference. I'm done. What am I going to do? I got a problem now. I'm going to Miami, of course, today.
You might be able to find some.
And he
fakes
said,
down there.
he looks at me, he goes, you'll get Miami Improv, by the way, tomorrow to Saturday. And he said, oh, no, Miami is where you'll get the real counterfeits. I mean, it's just.
But I bet you I could hit up Jorge. He can get you. He has the real deal.
Oh, really?
He has the real
Who's
deal.
Jorge?
Masvidal.
Oh,
Yeah,
dude.
Yeah.
Can you please hook
Yeah,
me
I
up?
can connect you with
all
him.
right.
Yeah, that's my guy.
Please do. I love
Yeah,
Jorge.
he is the real deal.
And is he a cigar smoker?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. He knows
Okay.
his shit.
Okay.
Guarantee he is the real deal.
Okay.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
You're not fucking Jorge Masvidal.
No, you're not giving him a counterfeit.
Ooh. All right.
And Bryan, it's today that you're going to Miami.
I'm going today.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
But
yeah.
I'm doing Patrick David tomorrow. That's why I'm going today.
That's our
gotcha.
boy.
That's our boy. Love him.
I love him.
Yeah. Love him.
He has a car collection, man.
He's got his house is.
He has all the money.
Yeah. He also is such a family man. It's like,
Oh,
he's
he's
got
the
his whole
best.
family living there.
Yeah, he's the best.
Parents, everybody.
He's like me.
But yeah.
So I do.
Yeah.
He's the best.
Let me ask you though.
We have
Yeah.
different tastes in cars, but yeah, he has great.
What's
cars.
his car?
He likes all exotics. My favorite exotics are Porsches and Ferraris, but he has it all, like Rolls Royces, Bentleys,
Really?
Ferraris, Lambos.
Rolls.
Rolls.
He always says Royals.
I know.
always,
Rolls.
always.
It's actually become a thing.
Yes. That's right. Let's take a little break here. Bryan went to go take a shit. Listen, this episode of The Fire Cue is brought to you by O'Reilly Auto Parts, who are in the business of keeping your car on the road. Your boy just changed his oil in his Demon 170 himself and the TRX. I got everything I need from O'Reilly Auto Parts. They're right up the street from me. They had everything I need to change my own damn oil. You save hundreds of dollars by not going to the freaking dealer. It's so freaking easy. Anybody can do it. I did it. They got thousands of parts and accessories in stock, either in store or online, so you never have to worry if you're in a jam. The team at O'Reilly Auto Parts can test whatever you need, your battery in and out of your car. If it needs to be replaced, they got you. They'll find the right battery. Whatever you need, whether you're a car expert or rookie, you'll find the employees at O'Reilly Auto Parts are knowledgeable, helpful, best of all, friendly. All right, so stop by O'Reilly Auto Parts today. Visit them at O'ReillyAuto.com/fighter. That's O'ReillyAuto.com/fighter.
So that's what were you gonna say?
I was gonna say, like, as the guys, Do you feel weird or like kind of like if you get your girl a fake bag?
Oh, I would never. No. But my girl is keen to it. I'd be fucked.
She could.
So
sniff it
just
out.
so you
Joe
know,
can't.
so I was gonna get. So when I bought my wife her diamond ring, I could have.
That's where it gets dicey.
I could have
'Cause
gotten.
They don't have the eye for it.
I could have gotten a man-made diamond, and they're expensive.
They're still nice.
But I had to. I just couldn't do it.
You had
And
to buy a blood
I got
diamond.
the kind that comes from. I got a blood diamond.
It's called a blood
I said
diamond.
I
get it.
I need some limbs that have been. I need it to be stained with blood, and I need it.
The
mined by
diamonds
children.
where it gets tough because they don't have the eye, and even there's some that are so good man-made. The clarity's the same
dude.
as the
Well,
blood.
you know,
Dude,
lab diamonds.
they don't even
Fraction.
Even a professional can't tell now.
Yeah.
So what are we
lab
doing?
diamonds
What are we
now
doing?
GIA
What are we doing?
certified.
What are we doing?
Who's it for?
There's something about that diamond. I had to get that one, and I paid.
But it's a bad
through the
sign
nose.
if you go cheap on the diamond ring for a marriage, and it can't
Bad
be.
omen.
It just
I don't like it.
it's not good.
I don't like it. So I had to.
Right, but like I
I'm
have some
glad I
diamond
did.
rings I took just to get like an idea of what they would cost, and
Yeah.
like at the time, like the jeweler's like, I'm being really honest with you, like when your mom, like this probably cost 20 grand when your mom got it, but
Yeah.
now because lab diamonds are GIA certified,
Yeah.
this is $3,000.
So I told you I bought my wife that tennis bracelet.
Yeah,
And my boy
that
bought.
guy had the more
my
expensive
boy
one?
had one. It was
Yeah.
$100,000, and that's a little more expensive than I spent, which I spent like
Did
something
they
like
look the same?
3, 4.
His were just bigger.
Like one I think was 14 karat gold, the other's 18. You know, it's not. You're not. I'm sorry, but I guess it looked a little nicer, but not that much nicer.
Not for the price.
No, it's just not. This is where we get into this dicey fucking area where it's like, you know,
You do with that stuff when it comes like cars. Like Rogan bought this Porsche. I won't say where he got it, and the quality's so insane.
Yes.
Where like
It's different though. He's a collector.
I see it. I'm like, Jesus Christ, dude.
But again, you know the difference, right? So you sit in there and what I think, like I get it. If you're sitting in a Porsche like that, you like when you sit down on the leather, the care, the detail. Like one of the things I
You're
love
talking
about.
usually about a year and a half, maybe 3 years to make.
But you see what I'm
And
saying?
there's like 2 guys building it.
That to me is an
Hand
experience.
stitched, everything.
So the reason I love that cigar, people, I said this yesterday. I go, part of the reason I love smoking that cigar is not just that it's smooth and it tastes great. I know the amount of time it took to make it, like
Yeah.
the care that the craftsmanship in that cigar. So that's why I get if you buy a car, like if you have the money and you buy a car and you realize it took 3 years to make.
Oh, Joe does
come
it
on,
right. Yeah.
Come on. When you sit in that thing, you're like, oh man.
Joe does it right. He'll send me pictures of those custom Porsches, which are like my dream. And I'm like, check out this Hummer I built.
Yeah.
Cost me like 14 grand.
Yeah, I knew a painter, and he taught painting, and he's a painter. He's dedicated his life to be fine art, and he showed me a painting, and I said, "Damn, that's really good." And he goes, "It's okay." I said, "What do you mean?" He goes, "Well, I realized a long time ago I'd never be great," and I said,
Oh,
fuck,
man.
man." I go, "Fuck, what do you mean?" He goes, "No, I think if that's not true, it's all subjective." He goes,
You can do
"It's
it,
actually
man."
not subjective, and I teach that."
Oh,
He goes, "You
wow.
want to see what's great?" And he showed me.
A real deal, Holyfield.
Yeah.
What did he show
And then
you?
I saw-
Did he show you a Hitler painting?
It was not a Hitler painting.
That motherfucker
and
can
I
paint.
and I was like, oh my god.
That motherfucker can paint. Bad guy.
You know what? You know why?
No Bryce
You know why he
Mitchell,
didn't get into this Vienna School of the Arts?
Because he couldn't draw people.
Thank you, sir.
He's a sociopath.
Hey, I hate to
He could
say
draw
it.
buildings
I hate to say
only.
it. That's not bad.
Not, but bro, that's fantastic.
Hey, take it easy.
No, again, he's a piece of shit, horrible person, but it is what it is.
By the way, people buy that shit. Look at the flowers.
That's actually nice. Yeah.
Look at that.
Yeah. Horrible person, but the motherfucker can,
Were you the one? You know why I had that mustache, right?
Hold on. He had to shave it originally in the military because he had to put on a gas
Thank
mask.
you.
Yes.
Thank you. There you go.
God, I know
So
my
why
shit
just
when it
keep
comes to
it?
Hitler, don't I?
I love it.
A little too much.
Well, you're fascinated with the diabolical, and what
It's
he was about.
fascinating.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, like they did a lot of terrible shit, but Porsche, Volkswagen, a lot of engineering came through Hitler, the Nuremberg Ring, like a lot of horrible shit. But as far as car stuff, see, this is what Bryce Mitchell should have done. Terrible person, NASA, some of that stuff. But again, that's not him.
Bryce Mitchell should probably spend more time just
Fighting,
listening
Fighting.
and fighting and not talking. He's too little young. He's a young man.
You know what?
who has
We
no
keep saying that he's
education.
not that young. He's 31.
He's
old enough to know better.
Right.
Because I called him a kid. I'm like, listen, he's a kid. And people are like, bud.
He's 31.
He's 31. And when they told me, I went, oh, shit.
It's old enough to know
That's
better.
old enough to know better to talk like that.
Well, he's a kid who's had very limited exposure to the world. And I think
Or too much exposure of the wrong stuff.
Well, this is what happens to these kids who go down these people who go down this rabbit hole of YouTube and they do their own quote unquote research.
But also the one of the issues is he'll say stuff like this, or even flat Earth, or school mass shootings,
And gets
are
a
fake
whole
and
bunch of affirmative
So he goes, oh,
affirmation. Yeah.
oh man, people support this like Twitter does and IG does. You go in the real world, man. It's not the people don't fuck with.
Well,
that.
he should. What Bryce would do himself a favor of is talk to a real historian or a real scientist or somebody
People
who's
have offered
actually at NASA, so he could understand how they have arrived at their conclusion.
See, that's not going to work on somebody like this who's been indoctrinated into these thoughts. If you have someone that represents NASA or whatever, granted, clearly we know they know their shit. He's going to think, well, of course he works for the man or he works for them. He's a psyop, whatever. You need someone that's not. You would need someone like Rogan who has no interest in.
But I would say to him too.
But Rogan's too busy.
All those scientists at NASA who spent all that time in school,
all the
and spent
former
all
Nazis.
that time at NASA,
You almost said Nazi camp.
they're not doing that. They're not all faking. They're not all doing fake work.
No, of course not. But I'm saying you can't
Starlink and all that.
But it would be like if I was shitting on like Ford, and then someone from Ford tries to tell me how great they are. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm like, no, you work for them, dude. Of course you're gonna say that. Now I know.
Yeah.
I know, but I'm saying when it comes to these kids, you can't
It's the height
have
of
it.
ignorance. The weather balloons and the farmers that grow your food rely on NASA's weather data on when to plant their crops, when to harvest every single day. So it is just truly people
we know
who have
this,
no idea.
I know, yeah, but
I know.
but it's funner than the truth. you
It's
know?
fun. Yeah, it's fun. It's fun. Until you
But NASA
ruin
was
your-
found by Nazis, right?
Yeah, that's
You know
such a
that, but
dumb-
hey, that's just a small.
Yeah, but that's not.
Yeah,
they're
it's
not.
the-
NASA's not
just because they did that
Nazis.
once.
Not NASA is not Nazis.
No,
what we did.
there were
was we
some.
Took, what we did was we took their
Brightest-
rocket scientists and we folded them in. Those rocket scientists were rocket scientists. They were
Yeah.
scientists, and we said, "Hey, let's use their know-how," and we brought them in with a bunch of other American scientists.
Yes.
So yes.
Yeah.
So.
But you can see how someone's like, oh, well, it's found on Nazis.
Who's an
It's
idiot?
like,
I can
okay.
see how idiots can
Yeah,
say
but you
that.
know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Like you can see where they
Yes.
jump to that conclusion.
Yeah. So there are people that are very reductionist in how the world works. Good guys, bad guys.
Yeah.
You know, black hats, white hats, and it's a very rudimentary understanding of the world,
Yeah.
which is just adorable.
But it's also something for them to do.
Yeah.
You just go, Nazis, not
they-
that. Like,
yeah.
there's nowhere to go.
So they had Benny Gantz on, who is a military man. He was in the cabinet with Netanyahu and Gallant. What's his name? The other guy. What's his name? Fine. So the three guys.
Jesus Christ,
who were in the war room of the Israelis when October 7th happened, right? And what he said was really wild. He was like, "Dude, I wanted to attack Hezbollah first. Gaza, we could wait. I wanted to go after Hezbollah because that's Iran's army, and they have a lot of weaponry, way
power.
more sophisticated,
Yeah.
and they have all these."
Is that right or no?
No, but it's okay. And so Benny Gantz, who is strictly a war man, you know, a general, and just spent his whole life in the military. What he knew is he said, they had, what do we do? And he said, let's start hitting Hezbollah. And what Hezbollah will do is they will invade the north. Well, they'll invade the north where we have 60, so in northern Israel, they had to evacuate 60,000 people. And I think they just got back to their homes. So 60,000 people had to literally evacuate the north.
Damn,
so-
brought up San Jose State.
No,
Yeah.
don't worry. Just keep
So
going.
so check it out. So Benny Gantz goes, hey, listen, guys, let's get Hezbollah to put on their uniforms and invade the north, because that's what they're going to do. There are 15,000 of them. We know exactly where they are. And here's what they're all going to do. All the generals, all the field commanders, all the soldiers are going to put their vests on, and they're going to put their walkie-talkies over their heart. Now, what no one knew was for 10 years, the Israelis had created shell companies And they
where
created
the
shell
beepers
companies
came
where they
from,
bought all the beepers
Yep.
and the walkie-talkies. And every one of those was made by Israeli operatives and they had C4 in them. So the beepers blew up and just wounded people. Those walkie-talkies would have blown your heart out. And he said to the command, he goes, "We'll get them to put their walkie-talkies on. They will invade. We're watching everything they do. We can kill 15,000 of them
Like this.
with a push of a button."
Yeah.
With a push of a button. And then when we kill all of them, we won't have to get rid of the North. And Gaza, then we
wide
can
open.
just fucking wide open. We don't have to worry about that more in front.
God,
And-
talk about playing.
Bro, 10 years.
And they never got
10
out.
fucking years.
And it never got,
guess
no one
what?
said anything.
Well, Netanyahu and the other guys were like, we just don't know if it's going to work because they didn't have confidence in their intelligence because of the invasion. They didn't see it.
Yeah.
So they're like, but how do we know? And he's like, I'm telling you, we know.
worth a
He's like,
shot.
I'm a fucking military guy. And I said, that was the idea. But think about how do you fight an army that can kill 15,000 of your best soldiers that fast? They would have been all dead. And they knew exactly where they were. So 10 fucking years of being on the ground in there. Because remember, a lot of the Israeli Mossad and their operatives, they speak fluent Arabic because you have a lot of Jews from different parts of, blah, blah, blah. Fuck, man. And anyway, it's a pretty wild thing to see. And the point I'm making is that when you see those guys, when you see all those intelligent guys, what you realize is that in the war room, you think everybody's really organized. Everybody's got different opinions.
Of course.
Like nobody knows what the fuck is up.
No.
So it is really wild.
And they're in a ceasefire right now?
Yeah,
You don't see much coverage of it anymore.
Well, right now the bummer is that mother and her 9-month-old and that 3-year-old are dead. The hostages.
They killed him?
They took that 9-month-old. That was a huge thing for the Israelis. And they took they kidnapped a mother and 2 of her babies.
Terrible
A
people.
toddler
Terrible
and
people.
an infant. And they're dead. All 3 of them are dead.
Terrible
And they're
people.
returning them today. And that has put a taste of ash in the mouths of every Israeli,
All those
whether
people
they're
should
on the
die.
left or the
I
right.
don't give a fuck. Kill them.
Well, that's what happens when you do that, and what'll happen is they'll say, "Well, you bombed, and that's what
no,
killed them."
fuck off.
Yeah,
Yeah, you gotta kill
you took
them.
babies, man.
That's all terrible.
You took babies. You should have given those babies back right away.
Yeah, I don't know.
And it's one thing if you want to say free Palestine, and you're speaking for the Palestinians, but you should also say, "Oh, by the way, please return those children." That's not cool. Return the children.
Yeah, it's
and they
gotta be
never
human.
did. They never did, and they died.
Get me out of this darkness. You got America playing Canada in a rematch Thursday in the championship. Tonight. Remember, but it's in America, I think, this time. So doubt anybody's gonna. I don't think Americans would boo the Canadian anthem.
We'll see. Where is it being held? Let's take a little break, guys. I am wearing, as usual, my True Classic, and you are wearing
Both
your
of
True
us
Classic.
are. We're both all
That's
in
what
blue.
we do. If
True
you see us
Classic.
with form-fitting shirts and my body looks better than it should, and if my chest and my
all
shoulders are
True
popped
Classic.
out, it's because it's True Classic.
Yep, premium clothes at an affordable price. Build the perfect outfit in 5 minutes or less. Everything they have goes together. Best-selling t-shirts, hoodies, jeans, and so much more. You can get the 3, 6, and 9 packs. The more you bundle, the more you save.
But by the way, just because 4 million customers have been a part of True Classic, and just because they have 200,000 5-star reviews, what do they know?
Also, free shipping on all orders, 100% perfect fit guarantee, easy returns. So level up your date night or everyday style with clothes that actually fit, right? Just go to trueclassic.com/fighter to save. That's trueclassic.com/fighter. Shop now. Elevate your wardrobe today.
Boston. That's
Boston might boo.
Boston's
sure.
an aggressive part of the world. That's an aggressive part of the world. We'll see.
Interesting.
Yeah. Bring up the weather in Boston right now. Let's see how cold it is there. Just like to do that. See how we're doing. February. Let's see what's going on in Boston. Just in case you're
It's
wondering.
nice out here.
Yeah, let's see.
Give it a sec.
It's not too bad. 26 degrees. Not too bad.
Morning, nights 13. That's cool.
Yeah. It's good.
No snow, at least.
Well, it's 1%. Oh, yeah.
That's not
Not bad. 11 degrees.
I'll watch that game, though.
Connor McDavid is like plus 1,400 to score the first goal of the game.
He's so good.
Yeah, and he's just been
you know who that is, B?
derailed on the
David?
Oilers.
Really? Really good?
Yeah. So fast.
Supposed to be the next Gretzky. Like Gretzky said it himself.
Wow.
But he's stuck on the Oilers.
Fuck, dude. My friend played in the National Hockey League for, I don't know, like literally 20 years. And I see him at the airport and he goes, "What's up, Bryan?" I go, "Hey, man, how you doing?" And I shake his hand and I go, "What are you doing?" He goes, "My kids are playing hockey." I go, "Do they have dad's jeans? Are they going to be pros?" And he goes, his son's right there. and he's like, they're out there, man. And I look over and I see his son, and his son is obviously athletic kid, but a little bit built like me, not the tallest.
Yeah, but you don't have to be huge.
No,
You
but
still have skills.
But it was just obvious that I was an awkward question. It was a little,
that is awkward to say in front of the son.
I was like, I didn't know. I would never have said that if I.
You didn't know they were there?
No. It was obvious that was not a good question.
Yeah, it's hit or miss. Like we played against, and T's friends with Aaron Donald's son. T's really good friends with him. We played against his team on Sunday.
Aaron Donald's son? What's his son look like?
Look, he's built just like him. And but T's the same size. But you can tell this kid's gonna be big like his dad. His dad's fucking big. Kid's good.
Yeah.
And T was like, "Oh, I'm awesome," stuff like that. I'm like, right now, I was like, just wait, dude. Like he's gonna grow, and you're both gonna be fucking titans. Like you're both gonna be big, but his dad has different genetics than your dad.
Maybe.
Yeah,
no,
Aaron Donald's
definitely.
One of the best to ever do it. Yeah. What made him special was his first step.
His speed.
His first step. Yeah, unheard of.
And so just off the line, you're saying?
Yep, unheard of.
What did he weigh? What does he weigh?
He wasn't the biggest defense
284
tackle.
currently.
Oh, Jesus. And how tall, though? He wasn't tall.
6'1".
It was just like all muscle. But his son has the similar like shoulders and stuff. You're like, fuck, that kid's gonna be big. And he looks just like the dad.
Jesus. Yeah. Well, there you go.
But then there'll be like there's some Dodgers and their kids play around T and the stuff, and it's just like I talked to one of the dads, I won't say who it is, and I was like, is he gonna be like you? He's like, it's tough, man, because I came from nothing. It's like I was obsessed. All I had was baseball. These kids have so many options. He's like, I was like, oh, do you like work with them and stuff? He's like, no, not this age. He's like, they got to figure it out for themselves, like I did. He's like, you're not going to put.
I talked to a pro.
He goes, if I'm going to push them, it's going to push them away. He goes, once they get a little older, and then I can start really molding them, I'll do it. But now it's just fun. He's like, you don't want to start making it all serious.
I talked to a pro basketball player, very famous guy, and I said, "Are your kids?" And he goes, "My son has all the tools, and he's built even better than me. He just doesn't have the hunger."
Basketball's very tough.
He does not have the hunger, man. He didn't grow up the way I did, so he's just not gonna.
It's tough.
Yeah.
You know who's like that with their kids is Michael Thompson. He used to play for the Lakers.
Yeah.
So I used to work out always with him because he lived really close to my old parents' house. But he would always just talk about like, yeah, my kids are just lazy. They're just lazy pieces. And I'm like, one of your kids is in the MLB. The other one is in the NBA, and the other one is in like the D League. I don't know what you're talking
Jesus,
about.
okay.
Yeah, Klay Thompson.
Klay Thompson's a stud.
Okay, so
Clay's the man. I love Klay.
yeah.
But what he would do was anytime Klay, if you remember the beginning of Clay's career, like he was a terrible 3-point shooter. So his dad would tell him, like, you want to keep taking these stupid shots. Every time you take a stupid three, I'm charging you $1,000.
Yeah.
But Klay grew up going to his dad, like in pre-games, you see Klay and Steph. They'd be out there like shooting with the teams. Like you grew up in that environment.
So Steph Curry's dad was also a
Del Curry, baller.
Really?
Super baller. Yeah. Fuck
so
yeah.
grew up with the right technique.
Shooting and just, being around that greatness. Yeah. But one of the, my buddy Hector who coaches all these, you got to throw problems as usual, right? Hector who coaches a bunch of MLB guys, he goes, if you watch the MLB dads, like they know like basically how not to push a kid out from the sport. He goes, you know what all of them are doing when their kid's playing or practicing? I'm like, what? He's like, not saying a word. He's like, that's how you know if they played high-level sports. You'll see the dads that maybe played in high school or didn't amount to anything, yelling at the kid, doing all this, trying to overcoach and, speed, bat up, buddy. And you'll see the pros just sitting there watching because they know it's not the way to go.
Yeah. Got to keep it fun.
You have to, especially at this age. And because it really doesn't matter till they get to high school.
Right.
Doesn't matter, man.
Right.
No Dodgers signing your kid in fucking travel ball. Calm the fuck down. What are you doing, dude? And then you never want to coach the kid. Like, let's say Tiger struck out. He hasn't yet, but I'm sure he will. But let's say he struck out all at bats. Like, you don't coach on the ride home. You'd never coach on the ride. Never.
Why not?
Because the kid's not in the headspace to.
Yeah, I heard a guy
absorb
say
it.
this. He said the parents that did the best with their kids say, "I love watching you play." That's what
Yeah,
they say.
no matter what.
I love to watch you play.
I always tell the
keep it
dad,
fun.
like when the dads yell and stuff, I'm like, I don't know if you guys ever played sports. There's nothing a dad has ever shouted from the side that's ever helped his son.
Yeah.
Especially if he made a mistake, he's already embarrassed. You yelling, bring more attention, does the exact opposite of what you think it's going to do.
Yeah.
No, it's different. If the only time I ever criticize Tiger ever during the game is if he's not hustling. Then we have a problem because he can control that. But mistake wise, I don't give a fuck. Never correct him.
Yeah, I was watching David Goggins at the cage side when Tony Ferguson was fighting, and I watched a little bit of him training Tony Ferguson, where he was making him run for 4 hours. And
Tony never needed that though. Tony's always had
and then
great
Tony
cardio.
Had like cramped up and fell to the ground. David was like, "Yeah."
It was a mental
I
thing.
was like, "Yeah."
For Tony
Tony doesn't need that.
No, he didn't need it. I mean, it might be good to get him his like maybe his motivation or something back. Maybe that.
Yeah, or
you know?
just overtraining and ruining yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it might some guys they need. Some guys like that. But for Tony in that stage of his career, it's like you're already a workhorse. Like no one ever said you didn't
It's just
do
so weird. I just thought,
enough.
March Madness is coming up.
God, let me tell you something. Let me tell you something. I care more about the puppy ball, which I don't give a flying fuck, than I do about March Madness.
You don't care about March
Name one
Madness?
college basketball player. Go.
But March
College basketball
Madness-
is over.
What do you mean?
It's over. No one watches it.
I thought March Madness was the greatest sporting event. My friends are like, "It's the greatest time ever."
My friends are gay. No, it used to be. Used to be awesome.
So why isn't it now?
It's just, I mean, it's still fun, but it's just not like it was back in
What
the day.
happened?
Basketball, they're all soft. All of them are fucking soft. They're all bitches.
Really?
It's just not the same game. Even the NBA, because they're going based off their idols. LeBron sat out of the All-Star game because he had an inflamed foot.
Well, might have been a real inflammation.
Michael Jordan played with a broken ankle. That's the difference. So these young kids that are looking up to LeBrons and these who are sitting out of games and shit, so it just builds this culture of bitches. They don't compete in
saying
three-point
that-
contests. They don't compete in the slam dunk contest. They don't compete in the All-Star game. So ratings are tanking.
Really?
Oh, tanking.
So
That's
there
why they
there
tr-
really has been a bitchification.
Oh my God! Yes.
Really?
Of the NBA, yeah.
Is it because they changed the rules and they don't want to?
No, it's because these stars are fucking divas.
because they're making so much money.
Yeah, everyone's making money, but they've always made money, not like they are now. But money's never been the issue. It's just there's
culture of
just,
bitch-
it's a culture of bitches.
bitchification.
Of parents like the parents now that I see all the time that baby their kids.
Well,
or-
also the way they dress and stuff, like the whole fashion show that becomes.
I don't mind that because it gives them a little personality. But it's just like, dude, you got to play every night. Like Jordan never missed games. Kobe never missed games. You got to remember, there's a kid who's never seen you play in Denver, Colorado. When you come in town, the dad spent his hard-earned money. He's working 9 to 5, spent $400 on tickets. They're expecting to see Michael Jordan, LeBron James, and you're sitting out because you have an inflamed fucking finger. It's insane. And then eventually the culture goes, we're out. And that's what's
So
happening. Like,
ratings are down.
oh, man, they're bad.
Is that right?
That's why they tried to change the dynamics of the All-Star game. And then that made people even more mad. Because you had new players that don't deserve to play in the All-Star game. You had newcomers versus the vets. Because they're trying to do anything to get ratings. Wow. And like Draymond Green said, you know, he was like, it's ridiculous. These young guys are playing. And then Charles Barkley goes, you need to take some responsibility. Because the reason ratings are down is your class ruined the All-Star game because you guys weren't competing.
But actually, it says ratings are up.
That's because last year with Caitlin Clark, am I getting her name wrong?
Yeah.
You know, like that got a big push last year.
Caitlin Clark was massive, yeah.
I think the women's had more views.
Yeah,
than the
yeah.
men's.
I watched the women's. I didn't watch a
Women's.
single men's game.
Wow.
NBA swing back around. You'll get some tough cats in there. They have to. They can't keep doing what they're doing, being divas and missing games and taking mental rest day. What is it? A mental rest day?
They're taking mental rest
Yeah,
days.
those guys that do that. Excuse me. Imagine being on Kobe Bryant's team. Like, I just can't play tonight.
He would.
man.
He would not. He would not play with you.
Oh no, he would make sure you were fired.
He'd be like, I'm not playing with that guy.
Yeah, it's just soft society.
There's
Like
not
you have
a shot
employees
that
like,
would happen.
I need 2 weeks, for mental.
What?
Oh, you're fired. You're going to take your rest forever.
100%.
Oh, what?
I need to take, Coach. I need a week just to kind of get my head together because I'm just overwhelmed with all this pressure. and
Say,
stuff.
you know what? I'm going to give you more than a week.
More. Thank you.
It's
How
going to
much?
be forever.
Forever.
Never come back.
Never come back.
Time here is done.
Okay, but I don't need that much time.
Yourself, or do you mind if I work from home? Yeah, you're fired. Stay home.
There's that really funny sketch where the guy's like, he's this martial arts, thing, and he's like, Coach, I'm not going to spar today if it's okay because my stomach has been a little bit on the fritz. The coach goes, huh? Stomach hurts? He's like, okay. Yeah, because you don't have to explain yourself. Hey man, your stomach hurts. It's fine. Tell you what, come over here. He goes, just do something for you, and he pulls his belt off. And just goes, come over here, and he just puts this like pink belt on really tight.
Where that?
He goes, here you go, like this, and come here, take it easy, don't relax, just lie down. I'm gonna put you on your side here. Put you on your side. Puts him on the side. He goes, put your hand between the legs here. This is what we do in Japan when your ovaries hurt. A woman has her ovaries hurt.
Yeah.
You do this, and you just keep this. And he ties the belt on. And he goes, and this is your belt here when you're ready to put it.
Yeah.
Right there. It's fucking so fun. That's such a good sketch, man.
But people are going, mental health and, the anxiety. I'm like, how's that going for us?
Yeah.
How's that going?
Yeah, how's that
How's
going?
everybody doing?
How's that going?
How's that going? Get to work.
It's so funny to me.
Oh, did you see? I'm sure you've seen it because you see it online. Did you see Nicksick, Strickland's coach? Guy, he was on Ariel on the podcast.
I did. It was interesting.
What'd you think of it? I love him, and he's top 3 coaches.
Yeah.
available.
Well, he said I'm coaching when he said I'm only coaching world champions.
Yeah.
I'll give you my take on it.
yeah,
and
I
then
wanna hear your take.
My take on it was he's trying to use it, and he did a prior interview. He did an interview after this, explain himself. This is the way I took it. That's a coach trying to motivate a fighter.
I think that's 100% what it was.
That's a coach going, man, I only coach world champions, meaning you're of that caliber. That night, you are not fighting at that caliber. And try and kick him in the ass, get his ass in gear.
Yeah.
Now you're dealing with Sean Strickland, who's probably not. He should know his fighter and know Sean's not going to take it that way, especially if you do it publicly and criticize him.
No.
Sean's sensitive when it comes to that stuff.
Yes.
And Sean was like, cool, he's not in my corner anymore. It's like, oh man, that's not what we want.
Yeah.
Because in order for you to get back to whatever you want to get to, you need him in your corner.
I mean,
You have to have him in your corner.
Yeah, I think. I think.
So what did Nicksick say? He said, I think he needs, so this is his exact quote on the interview we're talking about. He goes, I think he needs to evaluate what he wants to do in the sport. The Ariel Helwani show on Tuesday. So if it's just to make money, then that's great. Let us know. I want to coach world champions, so my motivations are different. I think that just to show up and do that and not really back it up, to me, was just kind of uninspiring. I saw it and was like, oh, that's him trying to get to Sean through the media.
It's awkward. He said, I like Eric. He's a friend of mine, and he's going to continue to be a friend of mine. Will he probably be in my corner? Probably not. We have so many great guys at Extreme. We have so many savages I would love to corner me, but the entire fight camp was just a struggle. Yeah.
That's Sean, by the way. Yeah.
And then Sean said, but the entire fight camp was just a struggle. We all have excuses as why we didn't win or why we won or why we won or why we shouldn't have won. We all fucking have excuses and they don't fucking matter. The only reason I'm doing this video is Eric had to go on a fucking podcast and become an influencer, so I got to kind of explain myself.
I get it. I get it. It's fucking a hard gig, and if your coach does that, it would really piss me off.
That would piss me off.
It would
but
piss me
I
the fuck off.
maybe Nicksick was trying to put, because now listen, to Nicksick's defense, Sean does do the exact same stuff. Like he always brings up in interviews, he's all over social media, he's tweeting, doing this.
Yes.
So, and to Strickland's defense, he goes, I broke my nose like 3 times that round, every single time. I didn't quit.
No,
I didn't go sit on my stool and say, my nose is broken, I can't fight. I adjusted it every fucking time.
Yeah. It's really tough that what he did, but I do think if you want to be a champion, something's got to change. If you want to be a world champion, you're not going to be a world champion fighting that way.
No, and I think that's Nicksick's thing, man. Like, hey, dude, we gotta switch it up.
You're going to be
like,
a great fighter. You'll be in the top 3.
And that's what he's saying. I'm trying to get you to be a world champion. The way you're fighting, you'll beat a lot of the guys, but you're not going to beat the best guys.
Right. And maybe something, but now you have to get into, can you make those adjustments that are going to make the difference? And that's.
So here's what Nicksick said. So I tried to do a little of what Sean does exactly and give him a taste of his own medicine to try and get a fucking response out of him going, I'm going to prove this motherfucker wrong. I guarantee you this. If I'm in his corner or not, do you think he's going to fight harder next time? Facts. So did I fuck up? Did I go and call him out or say anything that no one else was saying? I was probably the best on him compared to Dean Thomas. You guys were going after him. Oh, you're piling on. No, I'm being open and honest to the constructive criticism that we all should take on, myself included.
Is his real name Nicksick?
No. It says since he...
Because that could be a Serbian name.
Definitely not.
Look it up.
He's a white
Really?
boy.
I'll look it up
Don't
after this.
just come to a screeching halt looking that up. Since he beat Izzy, I've seen a change, Nick said. So I said what I said, hoping to get him back. So if that makes me a shitty person or a bad coach or whatever, I don't know. But I don't regret what I said. I regret the timing of it and the wording of it. I get what he's doing.
It's fine, but yeah, that's a risk you take, and sometimes you can really fuck up. And I think that maybe there's a side of Sean that has to agree with him. Sean's no dummy. He's going to know that.
Yeah, if I'm a fighter, I've been hurt. I'm like, whoa.
Of course.
You go on Ariel, the biggest show, and fucking say that, So I get that, but I also get what Nick's doing. He's like, dude, we've tried it all. I've talked to him privately. It's not working.
Yeah.
So I'm going to play his game, see if I give him a little public criticism, apply some pressure.
Yeah. He might have also, won out. Maybe this is the way to break up in a way too.
No, I don't agree with that. No, Nicksick loves him. Yeah, he's put way too much time. You're not going to walk away now when the going gets rough. That's not what fighters do, or coaches.
Well, also, but Nicksick in his heart of hearts might think that maybe Sean's not going to change. And if that's the case, then what are we doing? It's a big challenge for somebody like Sean, who's a great fighter, and but to make those adjustments to get to the very best is fucking tough, man.
The toughest.
Yeah.
And I don't know if it's possible, to be
Right.
honest. And neither does Nicksick. Probably doesn't either. And he's like, I know what we're doing's not going to work.
That's, you know what I'm saying?
We have to do a change.
Is there a wrestling barrier with Sean? Does he not? He's a black belt in jiu-jitsu, but is there a...
Who's he going to wrestle? Hamzat? What are you talking about?
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, what are you going to do?
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, what are you going to do?
So wrestling is a bit of a... But he doesn't get taken down.
Well, he gets taken down.
Yeah.
He got taken down last fight.
But he stands up. He's able to...
He gets taken down. He has great takedown defense.
Yeah.
But he gets taken down. You're also not going to
By the
change
way, there it is. Nicksick.
This is what I looked up.
Yep.
So it comes to a town of Onagaust.
Yeah, I'm just wondering if that's his actual name.
Herzegovina province.
But anyway, because that's...
I don't know.
It says it is. Yeah. Born in Nevada.
Yeah, but he might be Czech originally or from that area. Yeah.
And it's spelled differently.
Yep.
Very differently.
Nicksick.
Yeah, his name's not spelled like that.
Yeah. Let's take a little break. You guys tired of feeling sluggish, maybe struggling in the gym, not quite feeling yourself? You might have low testosterone, and there's an all-natural powerhouse designed to help you reclaim your energy, confidence, and edge so you can crush your day, your workouts, whatever life throws your way. Testosterone is not just about muscle mass and libido. It is the fuel behind your energy, the stamina, confidence, and overall vitality. And if you've been feeling off your game, this is your chance to take control and give your body the support it deserves. Joy Mode's Testosterone Support Complex, packed with clinically proven ingredients like ashwagandha, DIM, and boron, nature's best tools for supporting healthy testosterone levels, reducing stress, and improving recovery. No prescriptions, no gimmicks, just 3 capsules a day to help you power through your workouts, stay sharp, feel your most confident. 100,000 men have already trusted Joy Mode to help them unlock their potential. And guess what? You can join them, start today, save up to 30% with a subscription plan. All right? If you are looking to take your game to the next level, visit tryjoymode.com. Use code FIGHTER at checkout for 20% off single purchases and 30% off subscription orders. That's tryjoymode.com. Use FIGHTER for 20% off single purchases and 30% off subscription orders. So I'm right.
You guys have obviously seen this The
I've not
plane
seen
crash,
this.
the
I've
Delta
not
plane
seen it.
crash in Toronto. So I'll just play the clip for you real quick first.
This is fucking nuts, dude.
I don't know how someone's recording this too.
That's nuts.
So it's flipping to its right side. It's completely upside down now. There's
Wow,
fire
it's-
everywhere.
It's incredible that they didn't die.
Everyone survived.
No one died.
That's
Yeah.
fucking. You know, with the snow, maybe, right?
Are you seeing this
Yeah.
airplane?
So
I think that's absolutely a big part of it.
Thank
But here's
God.
people leaving
Thank
the
God, 'cause
aircraft.
You don't want to get burned alive in that fucking place. That's crazy.
Holy fuck.
Yeah, so completely upside
Dude.
down.
Dude.
There's 2 people that were critically injured, but they're expected to survive. So
Were they older? Some are younger.
I know there was kids and everything. But they didn't say what the critically
Kids were
injured
okay.
people were.
Well, if you're not strapped in, you know.
I imagine I think they're all strapped in, but I think
Yeah.
it might have been older people that are it would make more sense.
So out of hip.
There's an investigation going on, and they think it's because obviously the wind, the snow, the hard packed snow on the ground, all that kind of stuff.
Well, I had just
contributed
flown
to
from
it.
Minnesota,
That's what's so scary, man. Like
and I've flown into Toronto plenty of times. It's
seeing this happen now more and more these days is freaking me out with flying.
I do not care. I don't even
very
think
rare.
about it when I fly.
very rare.
That's a good
I fly
way to
all
think
the
of
time.
it.
But it's very rare. Very rare. Now this
You're more likely to get and die in a car crash driving here every day.
Yeah, that's
No,
right.
I hear
Odds are
I know,
way
yeah,
higher.
I know the stats.
So when you get in your car, you're not like, oh fuck, here we go.
I was talking to Sanaz though earlier. We were talking about the numbers, right? So apparently, because of this stuff, the Korea thing happened. The passenger plane that hit a military helicopter, and now this happened like a lot recently.
Yep.
I think it's because
DI higher.
Well, DEI. So just to give
That's
you
a
guys
bad
an
excuse.
idea.
I was just being silly.
Yeah, I know, I know.
It's
Just to give you
not.
guys an idea.
It's not.
This is. I want to give you guys an idea of DEI. So you don't want when it comes to your spine surgeons or your air traffic controllers. You don't
Anyone.
want any DEI. You want the best person.
Exactly.
For the job.
Of course,
You
of
want the
course.
guy who
100%. Of
graduates.
course, you're talking-
I don't know if you know this, but on the test for air traffic controllers, they wanted to get more people of color.
They
in there.
dumb the test down.
You know what one of
That's
the
so
questions? You want
racist.
to know what the question was?
Do you hate?
Are
white
you
people?
good at science? And do you know if you said no, that was one of the criteria for deciphering whether or not somebody was of color? You want to talk about racism?
That's racist.
And this was the DEI thing. And then, do you know there was a scandal that the black air traffic controllers that were passed were giving other black air traffic control applicants the answers to the test? Do you know that?
That's just the homies helping homies
And
out.
that's homies helping homies out, but you don't want that. You don't want white people doing that, black people, Asian.
I wonder what the
you don't want
percentage of
anybody
guys,
doing
But
that.
I wonder what the percentage actually is. I bet it's less than 1%.
Whatever the case, it's
Traffic
just
control.
that when you
can't have
when
it
you
because
have this shit,
if you are the 1% that has that DI higher doing the traffic control, this is what fucking happens.
these fucking people.
1%'s too much.
But these people that are doing this stuff.
What do you mean these people?
I'm saying the DEI people, who are mostly white liberals, by the way.
Yeah.
White condescending liberals.
that fly private.
Yeah,
So they don't
who
have to
are
deal
like,
with it.
let's change the world, and you are fucking trying to wedge people in. Take a look at the American Pediatrics Association.
But also, if you want to make a change, your private plane, do a DI hire. Let me know how it goes for
Yeah.
you. Someone that has under 1,000 hours of flying,
Yeah.
do that just because
Yeah.
they're black or Asian, whatever the fuck.
Well, when the American Pediatrics Association during COVID put kids in masks, and at first they came out and said, nah, kids maybe shouldn't have masks. And then Randy Weingarten, who is the president of the teachers union, who's very heavy, bring her up for a second. She's
again?
not been missing any
Randy
meals.
Weingarten.
Randy Weingarten, who said, no, we'll go on strike. We want the kids in masks. So the kids were in masks for another 2 fucking years.
Not my kids.
There she is. She's a doll.
Almost fought the
Yeah.
fucking
Yeah,
principal
she looks.
over it.
She's great. There you
Set
go.
of teeth
She looks
on her.
healthy, and she was like all about masks. Yeah, she's real healthy, and so my
She's
kids had to be
lesbian,
in
yeah?
fucking masks. She's the worst. Those people are all those people are the fucking.
She
worst.
looks like a gerbil.
They're the worst. Okay.
She looks like a groundhog.
And they kept kids in masks because it was unsafe, so the children had to suffer. And then the Pediatrics Association said that, oh, don't worry, we've not read any studies that say that picking up on social cues,
From lips. Reading
but
lips.
when somebody's face is covered,
Yeah.
they're just fucking liars. 1,000 examples. Fuck you. Pediatrics Association.
Did you see the recent studies on the COVID vaccine? Came out and says it didn't prevent or help
great.
in any
It's
facet,
great.
and they knew it.
Great.
That's the newest study.
Yeah. How interesting. All right.
Wait, to close out
Bryan's vaccinated.
This airplane crash, it's just I think it's a miracle that everyone survived. There is 2 people in critical condition, but they're expected to survive as well. But that's incredible. Like dude, it flipped. There was fire. It was.
You never seen Flight before?
insane.
A couple people died in Flight, the movie Flight. Denzel, I'm drunk right now.
There you go.
No,
go ahead.
it's
What's
a
the next
blessing
thing
that
you
everyone
got? Let me
survived.
see.
The next one is, remember that Sanaz brought up this current event
Yep.
a long time. Yeah, not a long time.
Oh, does she
couple months ago?
apologize now?
Here's what's crazy though.
apologized earlier.
So this is Scott Storch's ex-wife
Baby
that they
mama.
have a kid with. Yeah, right. So her name is Florence. So she did this. The guy that actually filmed the video in the first place, he did a podcast with her. So the thing she said, she admitted saying like, okay, you remember she was like, oh,
You grabbed my ass?
Yeah, someone groped me. That's bullshit. She admitted that was a lie because she talked to a friend and saying like, oh, she was in such a panic that she had to say that to cover herself.
She's a liar.
She's a liar.
Piece of shit.
Dude, she's
and
terrible.
she accused somebody of sexual assault.
So what
That's
happened?
gonna
That's
ruin his
one.
life.
What
She's a
happened?
After she
piece of
admitted that
shit.
she admitted that it was all false.
Yeah, because she got caught. Because that guy was going to sue her, so she had to come out. She's not a good person.
I don't think it's about suing. It's more like she wanted the public to not go after her. and
Yeah,
her
because
company.
she's a
fucked up.
piece of
She has
shit.
Coconug's company.
She's a lying scumbag who was willing
She's
to ruin
terrible,
somebody's
yeah.
life. She's
Yeah.
a terrible person.
And she even said herself, she's a spoiled brat. That's like she's a bitch. or
Good.
something like that.
Learn a lesson from this and do better and change. Change your heart and mind because you're a fucking scumbag.
Hopefully this does something for her
Ugh.
to
You
make her
would've-
change.
Hopefully,
You
I believe in
assume-
redemption, but she's a bad. I mean, that's a bad human being.
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure. I think Scott Storch said he was disgusted by.
Hey, it's one
stuff
thing if
too.
you had if you had a fucking moment and you freaked out on somebody. Okay, maybe you had something going on in your head. Okay, and you apologize. Okay, I got you.
Mm-hmm.
But when you then say he grabbed my ass and
That's
sexually
so fucked
assaulted
up.
me, you fucking scumbag.
That is so fucked up, yeah.
You scumbag.
Not to mention the racial shit she was saying. was
Yeah,
pretty
this
bad.
is, my,
Everything
this
about
is
it.
my thing with Blake Lively. This is my thing with Amber Heard. This is my thing with all these. They know what they're doing. They're using it as a weapon to ruin somebody's life. Go fuck
But
yourself.
this,
do you remember-
this actually helps the cause. Like what Blake
100%,
Lively's doing, what Amber Heard did, what this crazy bitch is
Maybe.
doing. This actually helps
Think-
the cause.
No, it does because
Oh,
it's
100%.
public.
Fucking
Remember,
no,
she
believe
went
women.
back.
Believe women. Okay.
She went back to the place and said, "Can you please be honest and tell the camera that
I was groped.
your coworker
Yeah.
groped me."
He was like,
He's
How
like,
do you
no,
live with yourself?
No.
But this is somebody who doesn't care about people. If you can do that,
but this stuff is good because
Right.
this helps the narrative. Like,
Yes.
you can't. The more this happens, the better. Bitches
Yes.
be crazy.
Some bitches be crazy, yeah.
Majority.
Dude, I've known
Fucking
bitches
This
Bad
just
people.
this just helps everything.
yep.
Alrighty.
Okay. Let's start with this one.
Mokayev?
Yeah. So Muhammad Makayev is calling for one fight against Jake Hadley in the PFL.
I don't know.
Thought
anything
that
about
was
this.
pretty timely, right?
I don't get it.
Muhammad, he got cut from the UFC
Okay.
for being difficult to work with. He's a stud. He's a
Is
fucking
he?
stud. PFL though, they don't have any money. I was just listening to an interview with Luke Thomas and Aaron Pico. Aaron Pico's like, I just can't get fights. They have to release me so I can fight in the UFC. He's like, PFL might be around a year, maybe 2 max.
What's going on with the PFL? It's just same
what
thing
what
that
happens to
with
everyone. Yeah.
everybody,
What happens to everyone. They just run out of money. And then they have all these guys on a contract. They don't fight them. Like Aaron Pico was like, dude, I sat with the owner, Don Davis. We were on a plane together, and he was like, what do you want to do? He's like, I want to fight for a world title. He's like, say less, you got it? He's like, where at? He's like, California. He's like, you got it? And then it was Don Davis' idea to take the picture and be like, dude, this is a big deal. You're going to fight for a world championship in California. And then Aaron Pico was like, and then nothing happened. I sat for a year. He's like, they got to let me go. I want to go to the UFC.
Wow. Oof.
This next one, I guess I'm not a parent yet, so I don't really get it. But so this guy, Summer Clayton, has an Instagram, and what he does every week is film stuff for kids without dads, like having a meal with them and asks questions. And
Love
if you
him
play
for
the
that.
clip, you'll kind of get it.
Love him.
That's great.
Love this guy.
Hey, how are you? hot sauce? Yeah, I have some of mine already.
It's really sad, actually.
Food. Amen. How have you been, man? Give me one good thing. Give me one challenging thing, okay? Start with a good thing.
Love you, bro.
How sweet is that?
That's pretty good. That's pretty awesome. Bravo. Proud of you. All right, what was one challenging thing that happened? All right. Yeah. Well, how did that make you feel? Yeah.
That's
tough.
Very sad.
It's but
But it's also beautiful too. Yeah.
Yeah, man.
nice to know people are still kind
He's
of
a
nice
good
out
man.
there, you know?
That's a good person. Clayton, what's he? Is he an athlete? What does he do? Just a person.
Summer Clayton.
Yes, he's an athlete.
I thought he was some famous guy
Why?
who was using his platform.
Why?
I don't know. Looks like it.
Fuck, man.
What?
Skinny black guy. Was he an athlete?
He's a handsome dude. You know, looks like I wouldn't be surprised if I was like, I thought maybe he was
Just
using
a
his
nice
platform. He's
guy.
just a nice guy. All right. Well,
He's a digital dad.
if I didn't have a dad, who the fuck knows, man. But good for him. Fuck.
Yeah, that's cool.
Really cool.
This one is a little controversial to me. So Trevor Noah
I'll grab it now. Just
Trevor Noah recently went on his podcast and pretty much said, I am not sold on integration, basically saying that segregation probably would have been better for his kind.
He comes from a white mom and a black dad
And
in
swap
South
it.
Africa.
And from South Africa. So
Yeah.
What the fuck's he talking about? He's off the reservation. Again, he's in his bubble.
His argument is like he says like when I walk into a room and there's other black people there, there's a certain trust already. There's a certain way of talking.
He's so off
Okay,
on that.
Trevor.
Okay,
And-
Trevor.
yeah.
Trevor, you're not black. You're not white. You're famous, bud. Like you don't. What are you talking about?
I've like watched.
It's like the
clips
OJ's thing.
10
They're like,
times. Still don't get it.
it's like the OJ thing. He's like, I'm not white. I'm not black. I'm OJ. Like you get to a level of fame where it does not matter what the fuck you talking about. He's just trying to gaslight. You know.
America's never been segregated in a way. It's been segregated, of course, but America's
Slavery.
story has been it's a melting pot for the most part in most of its cases, right? So you had everybody from everywhere.
Scroll up, Chin. Stay right there, Chin. So he says he posed a question to a Princeton professor. That must have went well. And she explains why
integration wasn't
the best for black people in America. Trevor says the lack of diversity can be a good thing. Throwing out Finland, for example. He argues it's good to have everyone pulling in the same direction under a unified.
Well, so much
identity.
comes out of Finland. I'm glad he mentioned Finland
Yeah.
so we can have
They're crushing
Nokia.
it.
I mean, I don't know these people. It's like, okay, dude.
He's just in his bubble. It just
Yeah. Yeah. It's fine. Trevor Noah.
Do that one.
you get to a level of fame where it's like you lost your credentials, man. To speak for normal people, you lost your credentials. Like no one relates to you, dude. You live in a $40 million mansion. I've seen it. What are you talking about? The fuck are you talking about?
Yeah, well, I'm not taking my historical cues from Trevor Noah.
And also, honestly, like me being Asian, I don't like saying, "Oh, he's the Asian version of this." Like, just like I'm the best version of this. Like, he's a good, producer. He's not like, oh, the best Asian. I don't like that shit.
Shin is the best Asian
So,
producer in the game.
There's a guy named Jesse Lee Peterson who's a black conservative, and I did his podcast, and he said, I don't like talking about racism, homophobia, transphobia. I don't like all of that stuff is out the window. I believe in right and wrong. And I believe in doing to others as you do unto you. So he does that Christian notion of if you treat other people well, you don't have to talk about the other stuff. You know what's right, what's wrong.
Yeah.
So don't treat people, a certain way because of their skin or whatever they are. And that's the umbrella term. So
It's also, Trevor, have you faced a bunch of backlash for being, not white? You hosted the fucking Oscars. You had a show on the biggest show. You took over for Jon Stewart on The Daily Show. Oh, has it been a struggle? Has it been hard for you?
yeah.
We're not married to fucking Minka Kelly. What the fuck are you talking
What are
about?
you talking
Cry me a fucking river, bud.
Yes, and also on top of that, like he's not fully black, which I think is a thing. Like if he's not fully black, it makes this a little bit different.
He also
you know what I'm
comes-
saying?
He lost all his credibility with that. Like once you get to once you're hosting the Daily Show, you don't count. You're out.
How about that's good though? That's good. Like you don't count. You're just a person that's famous. that's successful.
Use your
Just
voice.
Well,
focus
he's
on
definitely not John Stewart. John Stewart is a smart motherfucker.
Far, Noah's very smart. Noah's
Yeah,
smart, but there's one John Stewart.
Yeah, there's only one John Stewart. That motherfucker's.
Trevor Noah's a beast.
Yeah, he's a successful, very awesome.
Yeah, Cry
awesome
Me a
dude,
River,
but-
dude.
But just this stuff, it's like I don't. Yeah. Anyway,
They just get too famous and then they can't relate to anything,
Yeah,
so they
it's
go
not
to
that
this.
Trevor Noah's a bad guy. I mean, I like him. I'm not. I've seen some of his stand up. It's okay, but he's a talented guy and a smart guy.
am I a bad person for saying this though? If he was fully like 100% African American, all black, then I would give him a little bit more like say in this.
know,
No, he's too famous.
It's just an
He's too
idea.
famous.
You know what I'm saying, though, like,
He's had too many opportunities.
Yeah.
Like it's not like, where was this race card when you're coming up?
I'm just not sold on that idea. I think his idea is clumsy. I would argue with that.
When I hear people talking about like Asian, they're not even born. So I was actually an immigrant, right? I was
Yeah.
born in Korea, so
Yeah, you count.
I feel like my word has a little bit more than people that have
More
lived here
authentic.
the entire lives.
Part of what makes America what it is, our character, and part of what made us contend with becoming a modern society was this glaring and peculiar institution called slavery, and finally Jim Crow, and that black people were second-class citizens for most of our history. And we've had to contend with that integration. We've had to figure out how to integrate, and we still are. And that's a good that is how we get better. That struggle for all people.
I also have no issue with black supporting black, like them supporting their tribe, white supporting their tribes. Like that's all human nature. It's not racist. It's okay for you to represent your people.
That's
There is
fine.
there is no society that does a better job of race integration than these liberal democracies, especially the United States. And if you could tell me, and I want you guys to do this.
The other countries don't do it.
Give me one industry, Hollywood. I'm just all due respect. Give me one industry, Hollywood, corporate America, academia, tech. Give me one institution where being a person of color isn't an advantage, or at least is a disadvantage. Give me one law that makes it harder if you're a woman or a person of color to get into the mix. In today's world, we have laws and we have social momentum that makes that an asset that gives you a better opportunity of getting a place, because there's a lot of pressure.
I hear you, bro. I do.
And so let's all calm down. Yeah. And I would say also to point to Koreans and to Japanese people and to Chinese people, they have always been rather quiet in this struggle, and they work their ass off and found a way in regardless.
However, Bryan, I agree with you, but also there's the people that are the most outspoken that I've noticed personally as an Asian American, right?
Yeah.
But that I'm an actual immigrant.
Yeah.
I lived in, I was in Korea as a
Yeah.
kid, born in Korea. The ones that are born here are way more outspoken. Oh, Asian rights, this is something like,
Because they have it too
to
good.
me, I'm like, no, to me, I'm like, have you ever heard me like during the Asian hate thing? I'm like, oh my God, this.
Yeah.
No, I was like, I researched it. I'm like, there's not really that much Asian hate. It's just they're just picking and doing this stuff. But the people that are born here that are Asian,
Well,
are the
isn't
ones
that-
that are most
isn't that-
They get
outspoken.
in the
that's what
system.
Candace
that-
Owens-
it also gives them identity, right?
Candace Owens
And
says-
they want to win
yeah.
fans over. And I'm like, that's
Candace
bullshit.
Owens
though.
literally saw these kids, they were protesting. Candace Owens goes, you guys, and they're all these like college kids, black, white, and different colors. She goes, you guys are more emotional about this than the people that went through it.
Yes,
And he goes, and none of you have, and he goes, you know what you are? You're privileged Americans.
Yes. Yeah.
Privileged Americans going this very expensive university. Get out of here and shut up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And if you really want to feel this way,
But it's
give
done.
your place up.
What'd you say?
I was like, you seem like
your
you're done
spot.
with it.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I'm saying like when I immigrated to America, I went to Texas, right? I didn't know how to speak English, so I had to develop all that stuff and learn.
Well, I don't think
and
I don't think you should be in Texas.
No. What do you mean? Why?
Just
What?
kidding. I'm joking.
That's one of the best places. I
kidding,
love Texas.
I'm kidding.
But anyways, like I had to like learn. I didn't know English. People were talking to me English. I didn't know what the hell's going on. So I had to like develop
Figured
all
it
that
out.
stuff and deal with all that,
That's
the
why
racism and all that
That's
stuff.
why I still speak slowly to you.
What I'm saying is like the people that are born here, dude. Okay, whatever. It's
you
not
don't
that
count.
bad, dude. We have a great fucking country. It's amazing here. Yeah.
Correct.
Anyway,
Correct.
Okay, I got a couple funny clips from Instagram, and then one more. Well,
But Jim, when you went to Texas, was it Dallas?
no, it's Central Texas, so Temple, Belton.
Oh wow,
area, yeah.
that's like proper
That's
Texas.
We lived in a basically like a trailer home for a while because my parents also they came to Texas not speaking English.
Are you excited to go back to the motherland?
If it's 100% sure, let me know. Then of course, that would be the only other place I would want to go to.
Chin, it's 100%.
Listen, okay, but when is it gonna happen?
We both bought houses.
When is it gonna happen though?
Bought houses?
We'll talk.
About
Yeah,
we'll
we
talk
both
after
have
that.
houses.
Yeah.
Mother of heaven.
Yeah. Yeah. What do you think was happening, Chin?
No. But then you didn't. We'll talk
give you
about
a
it afterwards. Yeah.
timetable. Yeah.
All right. Yeah.
Give you a timetable. It's next week.
Damn, you probably know. There's no way.
It's Friday.
No.
Gosh.
Zippo.
So here's just a funny Instagram clip I saw of a dad who hasn't played, GoldenEye. You guys remember Nintendo 64?
Yeah.
In a long time, and
we
look at
played
his
it
reaction.
on Golden Hour. I beat the shit out of Chris and Eric. Probably the best game ever made.
This is your ass player. You'll learn about this player. Oh, shit! Damn! Woo! It's been a long time. Oh, what?
It's been a long time. It's such a good game.
Damn right, player! Come on, we'll bust your ass! Woo!
Golden.
This guy is amazing. What is this? And he's playing with his son?
What's up, player? Bust that ass, boy! Bust that ass, player! What, player?
I bet the dad
I
picks
do this to
odd
my
job
son
too.
all the time. This is the best. That's what I do to my son. Fucking, I love that shit.
In what game though?
Just but like whether it's jujitsu, I go, why would you ever
Oh,
do
but not
that?
a
Why
game.
would you do that?
Yeah, not a game.
We're working out. He's doing like even if he's just trying to bench, I go, this ain't your mama's house, boy. I'm right in his ear. I fuck with my son beyond what you can imagine.
I
It's
light my kids
favorite
up
shit.
with games I grew up with.
Oh, dude, that's me with my
Madden,
son.
college, I
That's
light 'em
me
up.
the rest of my son's fucking life. Ah, God! I messed with him in jujitsu yesterday. He didn't execute his armbar, and I'm such a dick. I go, why don't you just throw yourself on your stomach and perk your ass while you're at it? He's
My
like, shut up, Dad.
God, Bryan.
Shut up, Dad.
That's a lot.
But we go back and forth. It's the best. I love that. I
Oh,
love
shit.
fucking roasting my kid, but he roasts me.
Saddam's clothes.
Yeah, well, look at this, B. Zach Baggins' newest addition to his museum are Saddam Hussein's final wardrobe outfit.
He was a Delta guy, so he was in there. Oof.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Would he give him a sweater and the hat?
Yeah. He brought him the hat and the sweater all the way from Iraq.
Yeah, he said that only Christians were allowed to get close to him because they knew that Christians wouldn't blow themselves up because they couldn't martyr themselves that way. So he only had Christians who were his tailors and all that stuff. Interesting.
And John McPhee's gotten so much praise lately. He was on Rogan, obviously, and now I think I want to know, are you giving this to Zach Baggins or is he buying this from you?
Probably giving it to him.
Just to give it away?
Yeah, I don't know.
You ever hear
I remember
what,
Rogan was like, I don't want, because he left it in because John was talking about his wife. He's like, you need to get this out of the house because in a box, she thinks it's bad luck.
You ever hear Tim Kennedy talk about John McPhee? He fought with John McPhee. He said, John McPhee is the kind of war fighter. He's the greatest war fighter I ever saw. He's the only guy. He's not a good. You don't want him in peacetime, but in war, you want him in glass, and you want to say break in case of extreme violence. And there's no one who just liked it more.
And he did it by himself.
Yeah, not. You wouldn't want him on your bad side, not winning any Nobel Peace Prizes.
One more funny clip for you guys. Make sure the sound works. I think it's funny. Make sure the sound's on.
It's on. Remember that the clip
yeah,
was
oh,
like.
I've been teaching the disciples all week. It's nice to actually take a break and have a little fun. I've been teaching
Oh, fuck.
Come on.
Did he jump on the shallow end?
They put plexiglass under it, but he can walk on water. So
Cannonball.
That was great.
all week. It's nice to actually take
Cannonball. But he can walk up on it.
That's a great joke.
yeah.
6.5 million views.
Oh my God, that's funny. Cannibal. Oh.
Is that it, Chin?
Great joke.
Is that it?
Yeah.
Miami,
Alrighty.
I'll see
You
you
gotta catch a plane
tomorrow,
buddy.
the next day, and the next day. Got to catch a plane.
You'll see them tonight, Friday and
I'll
Saturday.
see you tonight, Friday and Saturday. I'm looking forward to it. Come get some. Miami, Doral, the Miami Improv. Let's go.
All right, kids. I just took.
A poo?
Oh, dude. I just took the keys to the new giveaway truck. It's a brand new 2024
Damn.
TRX
Damn.
last call edition. So we're just getting it together now. That will be available end of March. This one's going to be fun.
I love it.
All right, kids. That's it. Love you. This fine kid. We're out.